Hello everyone, how's it going? Dr. Incompetent here, and let's play some Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader, shall we? Picking up where we left off, and it's been a while since I have played, but I keep meaning to come back and play some more of this CRPG. Now, let's kind of figure out, let's catch up a little bit on where we are. So, we discovered Lady Theodora and Mort are dead. We investigated the crime scene, finding evidence, and we found that there was combat on the lower decks. We reached a bridge, and there was a ritual of the Master of Whispers leading to a battle that we had to fight against heretics in the Chaos Spawn. Then we emerged victorious, and we assumed the role of the new Lord Captain. Now here, we're trying to replace key personnel. We need a new navigator and an engine seer prime. We need to visit the planet and the Navis Nobilite station to determine what's occurring, which I believe is where we are. And then we need to track down Heinrich von Calix, who is somewhere in the system, and arrange to provide a passage to Footfall in the Furibundus system, fulfilling Lady Theodora's secret commission. So we have a whole lot of tasks, and then we got...
Do you require an audience?
Yes, I do. We got Cassia here, and she's new, and we need to kind of probably level her up. Hey, RX, good evening, good to see you. So, let's see here. She is doing okay. Let me see here. Now, here she is. She's got this staff, which looks pretty formidable. She's got what appears to be a scroll running down the front of her gown. Okay, very nice. And maybe she actually isn't up a little... No, she is. She has ranks here available. So we need to figure out, like, what do we want to put this into, and we can view the different types for her. So Cassia is like crazy magic lady. What do we want to do with her? So we could choose a characteristic, and that would be willpower or fellowship. Willpower is withstand horrors of the warp. That seems good. Yeah, do that. We need all the willpower we can get. The warp is problematic. And then we can choose a common talent. So, let's see here. Blood Augury. Enemies damaged by the Navigator suffer 10% additional damage from any source of warp damage. The bonus damage stacks for each hit inflicted by the Navigator. Okay. I mean, that seems pretty good. So, voice of command. Yeah, she's really good with that. Persuasion. Bring it down. Now, she's an officer at the moment. Hey, Hermie, good evening. You know, it's funny, like, Hermie, I haven't played in so long. It's been months. But, like, to your point, as soon as I looked at the portraits, like, I could immediately hear everybody's voice in my head, and I knew who they were. Like, that's how well the story stuck with me, and the voice acting. I was like, okay, yep, I've got Crazy Gun Lady, I've got kind of stodgy, old guard eye patch man, I've got crazy Into the Void prophecy lady. I got a lot of crazy. Like, we're just absolutely knee-deep in crazy. And then we've got this lady who looks kind of, like an albino vampire gone wrong. And that's great. This is all good. So, Open to the Warp says, enemies affected by her powers suffer a -10 penalty on resistances, mind over matter. I think she was. Grim, good evening. There was something like that, right? And we had to help get her free, but many people died in that freeing. Ebb and flow is pretty sweet. Every even turn, the navigator gains an additional action point, and then every odd turn, they gain perception. So there's no negative. It's just like every once in a while, they just get an extra action point. And then perception, pick out spolters. This could be good. This could be good. I like the idea of it. It's just amusing. Okay. So she's done. So her origin is navigator, and she's ready to roll. I think that as we play more, we're going to get back our understanding of, what people's roles are by playing combat. It might be that, right? Like the perception just has no value. But anyway, let's see here. So we need to... Lady Cassia is the only surviving navigator on the station. So we solved the navigator problem. So now we just need an engine seer prime, and we need to deal with this Heinrich von Kallax. She must immediately be brought aboard the rogue trader's void ship, provided with necessary medical aid, and prepared for the communion ritual. Oh, God. It's just one ritual after another. That's actually what they should call this game. Or maybe just... Warhammer 40K or Rogue Trader stuff in general, like that, P.T. Anderson movie, one battle and after another. It's just one ritual after another. All right, we're going to the Void Ship Bridge. Let's get out of here. Take all the loot, for the love of God. Yeah, do it. There might have been more stuff in there. I don't know. She needs medical attention. We got to get out of here. We killed a bunch of people. RX, I don't have any of the DLCs. And so I'm playing just with the base game because it's on Xbox PC Game Pass. But I one day might pick those up. Man, look at that throne. Voxmaster Vigdis turns around. Lord Captain, Lady Navigator, welcome aboard. The Sanctum Navis has been prepared for the communion ritual. But if the Lady Navigator wishes to rest in her quarters first, all right. So, sanctioned noble mutant whose genes allow them to safely guide a warp-capable void ship through the warp. Yep, we need it. Your heart starts beating furiously. Your breaths come short and choppy, and your fingertips tingle unpleasantly. I don't like this feeling. You notice that Vigdis is shivering slightly, and the crew are glancing around in puzzlement, searching for the source of this sudden wave of unease. You decided not to make use of the charm that could inhibit... Cassia or Celio's powers. Uh-oh. So I forgot about that. Yeah, I let her free reign. This is how we roll. We may be dead. I may have conscripted us to a death with the candles, but that's okay. Without even looking at the Voxmaster, Cassia waves her away. First, I wish to speak with the rogue trader. Leave us. Of course. When you are ready for the ritual, please let me know. I know, isn't it perfect, Hermie? And if they displease me, I need a trapdoor underneath the double-headed eagle that they kneel upon at the foot of the steps. Guy's out. Cassia sweeps her pensive gaze over Vigdis, then lowering her lashes slightly, turns to you. By what right do you issue commands on my vessel? Do not forget that you are alive solely thanks to my magnanimity. What did you wish to speak about? Tell me more about what the ritual entails. Entrails, perhaps? First, you will do your duty as navigator. All other conversations can wait. I don't want to speak to you. Go to the Sanctum Navis now. Wow, they really give you they don't short shrift you on dialogue options. Yeah, RX, it feels that way, my friend. I'm worried, but I'm having fun nonetheless. What would you like to chat about? After a few seconds' hesitation, Cassia lets out a small exhale, then raises her pointed chin. Rogue trader, you took advantage of my wretched position, forced me to board your vessel under fear of death, and now you stand there expecting my cooperation. Please dispel once and for all the tenebrous fog of doubt in my mind. Am I a prisoner on this void ship? I wouldn't call it prisoner. Think of it like this. You can't leave and you have to do what we say and fulfill your duty as navigator under penalty of death. It's not prisoner is kind of like, let's not even consider that. It's nothing like that. I know, Hermie, right? I felt the same way. So I could say, not at all. I regret frightening you, although it was the only way to convince you to leave Iraq 5. Indeed you are, and I detest it when my prisoners rattle on. Hardly. You are free to leave as soon as I find someone to replace you. Of course you are. I will not allow a monster like you to make itself at home here. So this is difficult because we really need this navigator. So I don't want to replace her. I kind of like her style. I'm going to take option number 1. Are you trying to convince me of that, or yourself? Cassia looks away, but her voice gains the slightest hint of warmth. I am also deeply grateful that you saved my servants, especially my valet. Uwe served me on the station for more than 5 years, much longer than any who preceded him. He knows how to properly attend to me during journeys through the immaterium and what to serve me for breakfast. Egos. His presence envelops me in a cloak of amber. Oh, okay. I thought it was just the cloak of amber that he gave me to hold for you. I'll be wearing it. But now, Cassia throws back her shoulders, I am ready to go to the Sanctum Navis and perform the sacred rite. I require brushes, canvas, and the best paints you have on board, but no red. Oh god, yeah. We're 1 out of 1,000 on the romancing minigame, Hermie. So, I have a problem for her. All we have is red paint. Oh yeah, good idea, Hermie. You see, the style of the ship is basically kind of this metallic bronze color and red. Hey, Nate Gaming, good evening. I'm not going to waste my time satisfying these whims. Perform the ritual immediately. It's a very specific list. I shall ensure that all the necessary supplies are delivered to the Sanctum Navis. I like being a friendly rogue trader. It's so roguish of me. Cassia nods in thanks. I shall take my leave of you for the duration of the rite. I ask that you do not follow me. Few can survive the gaze of my warp eye when it is opened. You know, I actually tell this to people all the time. Like, if I'm kind of being bothered by people or people are being a little clingy, following me around too much, I tell them that few can survive the gaze of my warp eye when it's opened. And it really communicates the point that I don't want to be bothered very nicely. All right. And here comes Voxmaster, Lord Captain. I will oversee the open channel between the Lady Navigator and the bridge. And may the Emperor's light help us all. I suppose so. We need some help. The Voxcaster in the Sanctum Navis picks up the susurration of clothes, pious chanting, and the metallic clinking or clicking of implants. Then the serene voice of the Lady Navigator breaks the silence, initiating communion ritual. Good, she knows the rules. Come here, Uwe, the exultant ring of metal freed from its scabbard, the low sob of the servant, the rhythmic drip of liquid on canvas, the faint whisper of the brush. Go. Footsteps hurrying away. I'm wondering if Uwe likes this arrangement very much. Thank you for sparing the valet. Uwe was like, God, I wish you'd killed me. I see violet vortexes lashing an ocean with a million flails, and umber shadows spinning over the surface in a fiery dance. A storm rising above foaming waters, armadas drowning in a fog. The path from one end to another cannot be seen. And here, beyond the wall of glass, a daughter forsaken by her father yearns for her brother, and the sun's pale disk goes in tireless pursuit of her? No, of me. Its frozen rays lie, that spring is here. The light is deadened, the great ruler is gone. I know, Nate Gaming, wouldn't that be awesome? They voice a good bit of it, but yeah, there's so much text, but it will be so good. Do you think it would be rude to tell the Lady Navigator, look, I don't want to know how the sausage is made, just move the ship? Voxmaster Vigdus. The Voxmaster recoils at Cassia's words and accidentally snaps one of the cogitator levers. The panel beneath her fingers emits sparks, and the Voxcaster falls silent. She quickly flips a series of switches and bows guiltily. My abject apologies for cutting off the broadcast, Lord Captain. I have never heard the warp speaking through a navigator before. The connection is restored now. It will not happen again. Yeah, see, this doesn't seem like it's normal. He's like, sorry about that. I snapped the lever that says self-destruct. I can't seem to fix it. The Voxmaster, see to it that you receive 5 lashes for this show of clumsiness. What is happening to Cassia? Cassia, are you alright in there? Leave her undisturbed. She's cool. Leave her undisturbed. She's got this. Soul-shredding screams drown out the Vox transmission. The servants in the Sanctum Navis are howling and shrieking like wild beasts moaning in pain, their throats raw from the strain. And then, sudden silence. The dull thud of dropping bodies proclaims their fate. Okay. So this is how the sausage is made. Ronnie, good evening. Now, she's our navigator, Ronnie, and she's looking into the warp and getting us a path through. And the warp is tentacles and terror. Hey, Michael, good evening. Good to see you. You know, Michael, I'm a little bit familiar with it, but not very much. But from what I understand from Warhammer 40k experts, this is a really good introduction to the lore, and even if you have no experience with it, you can follow along as much as possible, because it's kind of like, you know, bat crap crazy, but at the same time, there is an internal logic to its consistency of insanity, so it makes sense within its, you know, calculus of sense. Nah, Nate, I don't. I have 0. It appears the servants were part of the Lady Navigator's rite. As it was for her predecessor, I will arrange for the bodies to be removed from the Sanctum Navis after the ritual, or what is left of them. Rogue trader, I fear I have unfortunate news. Endless blackness has spread across the canvas, dividing what should be whole in two, and my sight cannot glimpse the light of the Emperor as clearly as before. I cannot turn around. My brush only draws me onward. The way is blocked. Ronnie, it's something, right? I know, Hermie. So now I feel bad that we gave her black paint, because that seems to be an obstruction. Let's just say to the lady navigator that this was the interview process and she doesn't get the job. But we don't tell her that yet. You hear a heavy exhale, rustling fabric, and metallic clicking. By the Emperor's grace, the ritual was successful. Your vessel's temperament presented a challenge. Its cold steel grip did not allow me to breathe freely, even for a second. It was as if the depths of the ship housed not only machine spirits, but something other. Now I will retreat to my chambers to recover my strength. Send for me if you have need of me. I know, right? She did it, though. She actually... Lord Captain, congratulations on acquiring a navigator. I mean, this is such a weird response, where they're like, congratulations, she only killed 50 people. Please spare me a few moments of your time, as there are several matters that require your attention. First of all, I wish to report on the condition of the station Urak 5. Okay? Had you opted to begin your visit to the Rykad system with a different destination, the station could have become critically unstable. Fortunately, the decision to immediately visit the representatives of the Navis Nobilite bought us precious time. We can either focus our efforts on disassembling the station and procuring technological components for our own vessel, or attempt to save as many valuables as we can. So, I will not stoop to pillaging, abandon the station we are leaving, or pillage the crap out of it, but focus on components or jewelry. So I kind of feel like, first of all, I'm stooping. Like, I'm already on the ground, completely prostrate, as low as possible, toward the pillaging choice. And I feel like upgrading the ship is the better choice than just money. That's right, tactical looting. Gather any components. Alright, so we got scrap container. That doesn't look like... More like crap container. With your permission, I would also like to remind you that we are still looking for an engine seer prime. Both the vessel and its machine spirits are in desperate need of oversight by an experienced tech priest. We are also missing some crew, and now that the navigator's here, some more crew. And much more importantly, we have not yet located Heinrich von Kalox, the right hand of the Lord Inquisitor. Now we know for certain he was not at Urak 5, so we should keep this in mind when making future plans. Why is it always business with you, Vigdis? Couldn't you sometimes just visit and tell me how wonderful everything is? Like having that voice box grafted to your jaw with giant tubes coming out of your head and into your cheek. Can you talk about that? Or, excuse me. Let me polish my monocle. Thanks, buddy. That's going to be all for now. As it pleases you, Lord Captain. Well, it doesn't, but the pillaging was good. Okay. He probably signed up for it. Like, the Vox has to be able to talk to the whole ship with their face. So, do you think, like, you know, when you're going through relics of the past, they see, like, the Vox sees an image that we find of old Earth, with like some, drive-through employee with a headset microphone, and the Vox just starts crying. Oh, I didn't think that we could just softly connect the microphone externally with a headset and maybe have avoided this horrifyingly painful and life-threatening procedure. Thank you for telling me. Long live the Emperor. Okay, so we could go here to Rykad Minoris, and we need to scan it, and we could find a machine spirit keeper. We could land there, New Blood. There's a void ship yonder. There is this place. This is Rykadi Philia, the prison planetoid, and then there's Rykad Majoris. So this one has... I'm going to click on this, and I don't know, I need to scan it. Can I... Okay, there we go. I'm heading that way. I don't know. Hopefully we don't accidentally fly into the sun. I made some mistakes. The navigator is sleeping. We accidentally just flew straight into the sun. Oh, God. Nate, you're right. I don't know either. Lord Captain, there is some commotion on the officer's deck. The Lady Navigator has left her quarters and is currently in the wardroom, where uninitiated crew members are shunning her in terror. Perhaps you should find out what's brought her to the deck. They're running away screaming, "Oh my God, it's that witch who was painting and killed a bunch of people. Please get me away from her. She scares the ever-loving crap out of me." Yes, they had, Hermie. We've got to go there, but being the rogue trader and all, I got to get my crew situated. So the prisoners are going to have to kind of relax for a moment. Hey, Observer, good evening. Good to see you. Thank you for clarifying that, Observer. I keep thinking now that, like, the Vox Master Vigdis, every once in a while is stealing glances at, like, an image they have found of Vince, the salesman who sold the slap chop and who always had a trademark headset mic, and is just, like, longing so badly to be like Vince. Did I give Argenta a flamethrower? I don't know. I think Argenta, if Argenta's the white-haired lady, she's got 2 guns, and she shoots people with just 2 machine guns. There she is. She's like...
Lord Captain, my apologies. I did not notice your entrance.
Okay, look, don't take this the wrong way, but when the navigator tells you something like, "I didn't notice your entrance," it makes you wonder what kind of observation and perception skills the navigator, whose only job is observation and perception, actually has. We have a problem. Hermie, I was going to say the same thing. This is why I love the Warhammer 40K lore. Like, the fact that I've got this massive starship that tens of thousands of people are living on, and yet, like, on the metallic floor, they just unfurl a carpet, which, by the way, one of the primary ornamentations running along the edges of the carpet is skulls. Perfect. There's like these kind of plush or at least leather armchairs with a skull on the back, and then just a, giant fireplace, like on par with the fireplace from the Overlook Hotel in The Shining. And it's just like, it's so nice how there's this kind of like antiquated sense of leisure and luxury on the ship. It's unreal. It pleases me to see you adjusting to life aboard the ship. Oh, there's a skull on top of that fireplace. You got that right. Oh, there's one inside. You're right. I mean, why did they need to put a skull inside the fireplace? It's just unreal. It really wouldn't, Hermie. So, Ronnie, it could be that, but I like to think that instead it's a real fireplace with real fire, and they're using real wood, and we're just going through the warp, going from planet to planet to make sure we chop down enough trees to fully fuel the fireplaces on the ship and have no other purpose. So she's engrossed in dusty tomes. Now, I could also say, alas, a title alone is not enough to hold everyone's attention all the time. I see you're fond of reading. What do you think you're doing? I didn't give you permission to leave your cell, prisoner. I mean, hey. Ronnie, it really might be. Fading, I think that's a good point, right? It is really cold. By the way, look at this, like, table of treats here. There's, like, some really nice tea or coffee saucers. There's, it looks like, not baklava, but like maybe some brownies. I don't know what they've got cut up here. Just some really nice treats. Maybe some, like, sausages. Oh, she's going to talk, right?
I found this fascinating read on one of the shelves, and I must say, it has caught my eye. Its every chapter is written in verse. I find it so beautiful and enrapturing.
Okay, good. Let's not drop the R word. Rapture's not something I want you to think about when you're looking into the old warpy dorpy, if you know what I mean.
Urak 5 had a vast archive of its own, of course. Although most of the works within had to do with scholarly disciplines of some sort or another. Only in my sparse moments of respite was I allowed to escape into the pages of more embellished works.
She gently brushes the dust off the cover with her thin, clawed hands, her eyes filled with longing after reminiscing about her lost home. The events that took place on Urak 5 must have shaken you greatly. Are you well?
One should not underestimate the navigators of House Orselio, Lord Captain. Like a shawl of pale smoke, a faint malaise hangs upon my shoulders, but it will not be the slightest hindrance to my duty to humanity, and my duty to you.
Right, I think you got those in the wrong order, but I appreciate the sentiment. Golden, they are. I mean, it's enormous, right? Because there's tens of thousands of people on here. I hope that you have ample time to calm yourself and your powers.
There are people on this ship who are far more impulsive and dangerous to others, and far less devoted to the God Emperor than a herald of the Navis nobility. But I did not need your words to see the shades of umber unease that whirl around your subjects whenever I am near. Were I not acquainted with such a reaction, I could have found their behavior in your question just now insulting.
So it looks like you haven't calmed yourself and your powers. It's, is what I'm taking from that. I'd say no less than 20, Hermie. Your only attendant is your valet from Urac 4, or 5. Do my servants not measure up to your standards?
No, no. It is not that at all, Lord
Oh,
Captain.
I was close, Hermie.
It is just that Uwe is quite capable of carrying out his duties by himself. He is well accustomed to my whims and preferences.
Yes. Perception test succeeded. Cassia cringes ever so slightly, adjusts the adornment on her forehead, then awkwardly hides her clawed fingers in the folds of her clothes. The unnatural appearance of navigators often becomes the topic of gossip among lowly servants and officers alike. It's unsurprising, then, that Cassia prefers the company of one who is used to how she looks. I got 5 experience from that. We should assure her, look, if any of my servants give you a side eye or act weird, we just throw them in the fireplace. Like, we agree, right?
Lord Captain, would you kindly explain to me why you are pestering me with these questions? Inquiring about my mood and my needs, showing an interest in the books I am enjoying. You are behaving as if you possessed a shred of fellow feeling for one such as I.
Okay.
I beg your pardon, Lord Captain. That was no way for a navigator to conduct herself.
That's unreal, Michael. I know, Hermie. I'm going for it. She's number 1 romance. I mean, like, this person could kill you just with a bad dream. I'm beginning to think, Lady Cassia, that the feelings I have for you are far more complicated than common sympathy. Whoa, rogue traitor. You have nothing to apologize for. Human emotions are natural, be they good or bad, and it is just as natural to share them with others. Quite right, so I would ask that you mind what you say from now on. It is indeed difficult for me to feel empathy for a mutant. However, the crew's well-being hinges on that of its navigator. Wow. I believe this conversation has reached its natural conclusion. Man, this is sweet. I mean, this is another conversation, just kind of quote that I need in my memory bank for, you know, when you just kind of get to that point when you're done speaking with someone or you just want to kind of go. Just having this at your disposal. I believe this conversation has reached its natural conclusion and just walk away. It's powerful. All right. So, look, we definitely try to romance the mutant with the third eye who paints war pictures. We want the most, you know, absolutely stable person as, you know, number 1.
Lord Captain? So many colorful sparks are flaring to life and dimming all around you. It is a veritable ocean of emotions.
It is.
There are so many of them that I can barely see the pure white sincerity of your words.
I love that one, Roddy. The, like, not necessarily passive aggressive, but it's like where you say, like, I'm doing, like, you say it in such a way as if to suggest you're doing them a favor, like what you want out of the conversation. Let me let you go. Oh, I think if you dump her, the game uninstalls and your save file is deleted. Your CPU and your hard drive may also just go up in flames. You, as a player, sitting at your computer are just pulled into the warp instantly. Never to be heard from again.
Please forgive me. I cannot even understand myself right now. Your words and attention have reminded me of life on the station, of Theobald and Felek. I do not understand. They were merely the keepers of Urak 5. So, why do memories of those two make me feel a strange heaviness here?
We don't have to explain. She taps her breastplate lovingly with her clawed hands. See, there you go, Ronnie.
At the same time, I find myself overwhelmed with new excitement and anticipation. At last, I have set foot outside my familiar walls and into a world that I have only seen before in the pages of books. Your ship alone is a treasure trove of remarkable artifacts and curiosities. And just imagine the things that await beyond, but... my delight must seem childish to you, surely. In your heart, you must be finding all this quite amusing.
No. So, this is kind of funny, like, I didn't expect this dialogue option so quickly. Like, I feel like we just kind of met this character. But this is happening very rapidly. I would not dare to make fun of a lady's feelings, especially not one who has captivated me since I first set eyes on her eyes. I would rather we find amusement elsewhere, perhaps in the privacy of my chambers. Man, this game goes fast. I mean, I guess if you're the rogue trader, like, you gotta, just really take advantage of these private chambers. What I find childish is your manner of addressing me as if I were your friend, and your mistaken belief that anyone here would be interested in hearing about your emotional turmoil. Jeez, what a contrast. I understand what you're going through. My own life was turned upside down not too long ago. I am not in the habit of finding amusement at the expense of my people. Just remember to keep your emotions in check. I'm afraid I must return to my duties. I know, Michael. Schwinn, good evening. Well, El Skirbo, I know, right? There's some unreal options here that we could give. Let's kind of like, let's not go too fast here. Let's just be cool and be empathetic. I understand what you're going through.
Indeed. I did not know. That is to say, I could not have known, as it is the first time we are speaking in a circumstance so private. My word, when I found this place, it was so full of officers. Why did they all leave?
Well, you see, Cassia, everyone on the ship is terrified of you. And it's going to make it really complicated when I have to explain, probably speaking through the grafted jaw of the Vox Master, that you are to be my bride. If I may be so bold as to presume, my subjects must have found themselves overcome by your rare beauty, as I have. Is it so bad that we're enjoying each other's company? Or would you prefer to proceed straight to my chambers? I mean, this guy, it's just always like a dialogue choice. He's like, all right, I'm just going to always like kind of keep this option on the table. I know, Michael, right? She knows exactly what's going on. Oh, this is so funny. I do not tolerate idlers on this ship, and my officers know it well. Perhaps my people do not wish to disturb you. Boy. All right. Boy, I don't have a middle here. Yeah, I could just be like, they didn't want to bother you because you were like reading your book and you looked real comfortable. However, I've come to bother you. I know, right, Irby? And I love how like the rogue trader doesn't like he doesn't like she just got done with the warp ritual like a few moments ago where all those people died and she stared into like pure terror and barely got us through alive. And she's like, steps out like after that, like, I need to relax for a little bit. And he like the captain's like, let's go back to my chambers. Wow. The timing is a little off here, but it's okay. He's not a rogue trader for nothing. Nico, good evening. All right, we're going rare beauty.
Words like that, Lord Captain, could easily be misconstrued. You should familiarize yourself with some of the works in your library to learn the appropriate manner of conversing with a lady.
Oh, she didn't like that. Struggling to maintain an expression of polite indifference, Cassia covers her burning face and swiftly exits the room. Oh, no, she liked it. So, Tails, I guess you're right. Marcus, good evening. I mean, to be fair, that's totally true, right? Like, we could die at any moment. Like, she almost got us all killed. This is not going well. Carpe diem is the rogue trader's attitude. There's a huge dating sim. She's out. She bowed. Oh. I apparently have received enough experience from that exchange to raise a level. Okay. So we're moving around this dial here. Agility is quickness and... Yeah, I really feel like ballistic skill is good. Well, I like the idea of like the fact that you just basically embarrass this lady with your kind of clumsy and way too fast advances. Level up. I can't remember vanilla, but boy, I wonder if I did. I haven't played New Vegas in so long. Ballistic skill, go for it. And then what's this? Controlled shot says the soldier gives a sign they're about to open fire. The soldier and their allies will automatically dodge. Oh, okay, you get people out of the way. That's pretty good. I like that. I hate friendly fire. Biomancy. I could go heal wounds and... No, I want to get people out of the way. It's a good leader that doesn't shoot their friends in the back. Yes, you're right. I do shoot people, and I have firearm mastery. I'm unpredictable. I have Psyker Minoris, which we took, and then we have Revel and Slaughter. So we're good with a gun, but we also have some Psyker. We have, like, run and gun. You're right. You know what? Maybe I don't want... Well, maybe this works for other attacks as well, but it could be... Firestorm. Of these choices, oh, I see. Maybe you're right. Okay, let's go back to that. Thank you for reminding me. All right, so we could do that. But to level up Psyker, I need to be able to choose this, right? So ballistic skill is fine, but then we can go here and the only Psyker stuff I have is like telepathy. Yeah, Hermie, I think you're right. Because we started with the Psyker background, I think. I mean, I could take Sanctic Powers to smite people. I don't know what that's going to do for me, but it seems reasonable. Okay. And, oh, everybody leveled up. Wow. All right, then. Okay, so this is my operative. And, choose talent. This is good. Instant exposure. It costs 0 action points. This is her thing. I had no idea, so Tails. Right, Michael. Mm-hmm. All right. So here is the Psycho. Ballistics all day, and she might actually want controlled shot too. Concentrated fire. The next range attack made by the soldier deals 100% more damage and has an additional 20% dodge reduction. That seems good. Yeah. Do that. Shoot him. What's rapid fire? Random trajectories. No. 20% armor penetration, 8 damage, and ignores their parry, or 12% of it. Every enemy who survives an attack enhanced by this ability will attack the warrior in return, including creatures with ranged weapons. Interesting. Sworn Enemy is actually pretty good. You get, like, defense, and then you get AP if they attack you. It's kind of fun. He just challenges somebody to a duel, basically. Athletics is traverse terrain. Yeah, this guy needs to move far. Good. And then I just leveled her up. I guess she gets another one. Fair enough. And so, commanding voice, the range of her abilities is increased by 3. Okay, good. I like that a lot. Yeah, you need to yell at everybody. I know. Isn't that sweet that carousing is a skill? I keep taking willpower with her because I want her to be able to withstand the warp. She's got to really deal with the warp a lot. All right, sweet. Excellent. Okay. That worked out really well. I guess we want to go someplace. Bridge. All right. Well, the romance level up interlude is over. Let's see here. What you got? Did we make it? We need to scan the system. Now, I don't know if I scan, like, if I do that from this screen, inventory, character, journal, or if I just have to get close enough. Just keep going over here. Lord Captain, sorry to disturb you. Vigdis pauses, as if listening to something. It's pandemonium outside the bridge gate. One of the officers seems to be demanding an audience with you in person. I think I hear Master Wursarian's voice. In any case, I wanted to warn you. Uh-oh. That's how things are in space, Hermie. It gets weird. I mean, weird to us, not weird to them. They're totally fine with it. Yep, rotate around. Abelard. The everyday sounds of the bridge are disrupted by voices raised in anger. Abelard's voice, the loudest of all. This is not the conduct of an officer. These are the antics of a high-born brat out on a lark. Explain yourself, Lieutenant. Avrilla Vent, the young woman standing before Abelard, strives with all her might not to quail under the onslaught of her superior's anger. She falters, but then manages to look him in the eye and say, I apologize, sir, but I must speak to the Lord Captain. Very well, Lieutenant. You may address the Lord Captain, not least because I see you have already seen fit to disturb him. Your unauthorized appearance on the bridge and display of belligerence toward a higher-ranking officer will be logged in your personnel file without delay, or your personal file without delay. Lord Captain, Lieutenant Avrilla Vent, requesting permission to speak. Vent falls silent and then adds rashly, on a matter of extreme importance and urgency. Yeah, so Tails, I guess that makes sense. You may speak, but I want to hear a report, not a shouting match. Having two officers bickering in full view of the bridge is unacceptable. I will not tolerate this kind of conduct on my ship. Abelard, assign the lieutenant an appropriate punishment. Lieutenant, you have 1 minute to state your business. Sweet. Schwinn, we're just basically trying to complete some missions here in this system. We need to get our crew filled out, and we need to do the previous Rogue Trader's secret mission. You may speak. I'm sorry, Lord Captain. I thought drastic times called for drastic measures. Vent exclaims hotly. This matter cannot wait. Any minute now, an assault unit will be dispatched to the lower decks on orders to crush the workers' strike by any means necessary. But I am convinced that this step is unwarranted, and that the crisis itself was provoked by the actions of one of the senior officers. Vent is almost trembling with tension as she delivers her speech, her face extremely pale. Abelard, in no hurry to intervene, lets out a skeptical huff. He glances at Sauerback, who is standing not far from him, but she maintains a stony expression. Lord Captain, I urge you to investigate the actions of Seneschal Worsarian. Excuse me. And to intervene in what's happening on the lower decks, because very soon we will have a mutiny or a massacre on our hands. Vent reels off the last words as though she knows them by heart. She has clearly been preparing to say them for some time. When she is finished, she casts an anxious glance at Abelard and at you. There's an insurrection in the making, and no one has informed me. I would not deem it a problem worthy of the rogue trader's attention. The lower decks, as it so happens, are in revolt. 30-some years ago, we even had a revolutionary leader rise up who dared to establish workers' rule across the entire ship. It took a month to restore order, but even 8 years later, we were still battling rumors that the hero had survived his execution and was on the verge of gathering people to fight against tyranny once more. Abelard scoffs. Needless to say, the rumors were baseless. As for the current situation, we have sufficient enforcers to deal with it. But on this ship, the word of the Lord Captain carries more weight than a salvo from 100 bolters. I'm sure that if the rogue trader addresses the malcontents directly, he will quell the unrest. Hey, Red Dwarf, good evening. I dread to think what problem you will disturb the rogue trader with next. Perhaps you will ask the Lord Captain to break up brawls in the mess room. Hey, Major, good evening. Thanks for following. I have already given you the means to resolve this problem. You simply need to use them. If I may, your lordship, sending a hit squad to crush the rebellion is a means of ignoring the problem, not solving it. How did this start? The situation could boil over at any minute, so I'll give you the condensed version. It all began when the enforcers found a cultist amulet on the body of someone who'd been killed in a drunken brawl. We reported it up the chain immediately, arranged for a cleansing rite to be performed, and opened an investigation. No heretics have been found alive, but the search has brought tensions between enforcers and workers to a head. Where does Seneschal Worsarian come into all of this? I shall explain. I beg you to hurry. Time is running out. I will not hurry, since my competence is under scrutiny. Hey-o. I shall speak for as long as I see fit. There is an established order to the way things are done on this ship, and one of the pillars of that system is that the rogue trader's attention is not distracted by trivial matters. It is the Seneschal's role to ensure that. I have always handled internal problems myself, so, of course, when I received information about cultists hiding on the lower decks, I took the matter in hand. So long as I live, not one of the vermin who murdered Theodora von Valencius will find refuge on her ship. You were far too heavy-handed, Seneschal Worsarian. Arrests, interrogations, mass punishments for entire sectors. It has driven the people to the brink, Vent says bitterly. Now there is a strike on the lower decks, in Depot 4 to be precise. 3 workers' clan are involved, but many more are passively supporting them. The situation could degenerate into an all-out insurrection, but when I reported my concerns, the only response I received was an order to dispatch an assault unit and crush the strike with maximum force. Abelard, what do you have to say to all of this? I see no need to add anything. I acted within the remit of my authority, guided exclusively by the best interests of your protectorate and your personal safety. If you wish to confirm the rectitude of my actions for yourself, I have no objections. What is Depot 4? She said something. She said, for my part, I urge the Lord Captain to go down to the lower decks, stop the assault unit, and speak directly to the people. You will see that they are not lying or harboring heretics. That way, you will stop the uprising before it begins. Depot 4 is one of the poorest sectors on the lower decks. It is home to clans of general laborers. They are not as valuable to the ship as the families who have served its specialized systems for generations. They are an easily replaceable resource, and one which is now, more besides, giving succor to cultists and minions of the archenemy. Depot 4 is poor and troubled, but at worst that means drunken fights and illegal rotgut brewing. We have handled the workers of Depot 4 in the past. We would have done so again if the crackdown on Depot 4 hadn't been so harsh. And another important point to bear in mind, the problem is not limited to this sector. It is located on one of the most populated lower decks, and everything that happens there has a knock-on effect on all the neighboring sectors. Master-at-Arms, the ship's enforcers report to you, and yet you seem hesitant to provide your own perspective? This is Jocasta Sourback. Lord Captain, unlike Lieutenant Vent, I respect the chain of command, and realize that it is not within my right to challenge my superiors. Sourback bows her head in Abelard's direction. However, a moment later, a serpentine smile appears on her lips. That being said, while I entirely share Master Worsarian's opinion on what fate Depot 4 deserves, I must note that this insubordination is a direct consequence of practices that he himself has introduced. Mistress Sourback, I see you have decided to follow the lieutenant's example after all. Such behavior does you no credit. Wow. Hey, Sick, good evening, good to see you. Sourback, explain yourself. The ship's regulations state that the Master-at-Arms is responsible for resolving all matters related to the ship's enforcers, and yet it is no secret that the Seneschal has a tendency to show partiality. Those enforcers and officers whom he has deemed particularly promising are at times given permission to approach him for tutelage. Hey Steve, what's up, my friend? Thanks for subscribing. I cannot deny Master Worsarian's experience and insight. The Seneschal has a record of fostering students who have indeed achieved much and demonstrated impeccable performance. However, extending such patronage over the head of their immediate superior encourages disregard for hierarchy among your lordship's servants. Today, an enforcer goes to the Seneschal to report an order from the Master-at-Arms that they happen to disagree with. Tomorrow, they will go to the Lord Captain to object the Seneschal's order. I notice a pattern in these actions. Abelard, do you wish to respond? Mistress Sourback, can you recall an occasion where I would encourage an officer to disobey their superior, or one where I would overrule their order, or show favoritism to those who merited none? None, Seneschal, for there have been no such cases in the entire time I have served aboard this ship. If anyone were to claim otherwise, I would have them pay for insulting your honor with blood. Your conduct in this regard has always been spotless. Nevertheless, given your eminent position, a simple show of attention on your part is enough to erode the propriety of junior officers, inflate their sense of self-importance, and undermine discipline. That you distinguish some of them and know them by name is tantamount to walking around the officer's deck handing out gifts to officers who have caught your eye. It fills those you set apart with ambition and audacity, makes them stand out among the rest. Enforcers are meant to be faceless servants, fighters ready to die, their fate entrusted to their commander and no one else. That is their sole foundation of order. Lieutenant Vent, would you say the Seneschal has signaled you out from your peers in any way? Lord Captain, I swear that Seneschal Worsarian has never granted me any privileges, never once advocated for me, nor facilitated my promotions, although he is the man who convinced me to become an officer in the first place. He has offered me extensive guidance in my service, for which I am grateful to him, and while not all my fellows receive such attention, I know of at least a dozen fine officers whom the Seneschal keeps in his sights to ensure that they continue to strive, to prepare new generations of the dynasty's servants, to instruct them, and to separate those with potential from those who have exhausted it. That is my duty as Seneschal. This ship has bays worth of pilots, enforcers, officers, technicians, and stewards whom I have raised personally by the throne. Every third person standing on this bridge right now was my student at one point. I see. Evidently, my officers are anything but a shining example of unity and adherence today. I have only myself to blame, I suppose. All right. I'm certain the Seneschal was acting within his authority, but I will verify the soundness of his decisions for myself. Throne preserve you, Lord Captain. I thank you for your support. Abelard grits his teeth slightly. An enterprise bordering on the sophomoric, but please yourself, Lord Captain. However, I categorically insist that I escort you. Lord Captain, I regret that the enforcers were unable to handle the situation, which then led to your and the Seneschal's involvement. I consider it my duty to go to Depot for myself and see to the expedient resolution of this incident. Okay. I know, Michael. We did it. All right. So, we get to choose party members. Here we go. So, Abelard and Dr. Incompetent are going. How many can I choose? Well, Argenta's... Oh, wait. I can have one more. I need to get that sixth member, but this is solid. Hey, Mel's, good evening. We're going, people. We're bringing all the guns. Let's talk to the rabble. The common folk. Hopefully this doesn't go badly. It seems to already be going badly. Hey, it's Worsarian. Take that, scum. Whoa, they threw acid at him. Look who it is. It's all his fault. Yikes. Abelard reflexively wipes the sweat from his brow in a startlingly human gesture and a telling one. A rare moment where he allows his age and weariness to show through his armor like veneer of self-assurance. The lower decks are a source of endless problems. Sometimes I dearly regret that we cannot replace all the locals with servitors. Oh boy. Did you hear they were shouting your name? Of course they were. The organization of the daily routine life of the ship rests upon my shoulders. The mountain of challenges and problems from which I endeavor to insulate you, Lord Captain. The situation on the lower decks has been a cause for concern, and I have intervened personally on more than one occasion. That must be why they remember me. They do not know your face. To them, you are akin to a creature of legend, one who has stood on the steps of the Golden Throne, no less. Whereas I am a man whose name is attached to every order docking rations or lowering a bay's heating. Alright, we need to get to the bottom of this. Let's see what this is. What's that? Something resembling a nest made out of thermal insulation material. This must be where the workers sleep. Jeez. So, I'm noticing that it's a little bit different down here compared to the fireplace area that I was just busily courting my soon bride-to-be Cassia.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
Wow, nobles from the upper decks down here to see us. You're right. You're very lucky. We're down here. This is a good day. Hey, I didn't say that. Do that. All right, let's see. What do we got in here? Let's send...
trouble you, Lord
Yep,
Captain?
Cassie is going first. I know, Hermie. Or like a sedan chair. I think a sedan chair would be appropriate if we had the party just carry that around. I'm sending Cassie at first. Inside the box, a string of scratched letters runs along the edge. Different first names, but the same surname. It looks like this box has been passed down in the family from generation to generation. It's a nice toolbox. Let's take it. Oh, there's goods. I am stealing. This guy's like sleeping here. Like, did you just take all of my possessions? Hey, Chains, good evening. Congratulations. I hope you're settling in well, my friend. Michael, isn't that right?
I still do not see our purpose in coming here.
You're about to see it.
Relax, old man. Going for a stroll on the lower decks every once in a while is good for you. Lets you see how...
Uh-oh. What's this? I have no idea what's going on. Oh, this guy's coming. Okay. Avril Vent. The sounds of a heated discussion reverberate through the ship's bays. Lieutenant Avril Vent of the ship's enforcers is barring the path of her superior, Master-at-Arms Jocasta Sourback, who has arrived clad in armor. Judging by their expressions and tone, the standoff has dragged on for some time already and has now reached a boiling point. Lieutenant Vent, my patience is wearing thin. I have given you an order. Now get out of my way. I cannot comply with that order, ma'am. Vent looks shaken, but there is fire in her eyes. This is my deck and my sector. So long as this area remains under the Lord Captain's special oversight, no action can be taken without my express permission. There are only 3 people who are authorized to make me stand down. The first officer, the rogue trader, and the Emperor himself. So not all my lessons fall on deaf ears, Abelard mutters in crabby approval. He does not clarify whether that means Vent, Sourback, looming over her, or both. Your lordship. Noticing you, the 2 officers snap to attention and salute, their subordinates following suit in a moment later. I've given the assault unit permission to open fire. We will crush the shreds of insurrection with full force. Okay, pretty solid. Awesome, Major. So glad you could make it. That's awesome, Chains. I bet you're exhausted. Moving is already difficult, but moving from so far away is gotta be something else. What's the situation? Your lordship, my people have locked down the bay where the strikers are, including their leaders. We have the situation under control as far as resources allow. Under control? I came here to lead an investigative unit, and what do I see? The rabble is on the verge of mutiny. There is nothing to investigate. This simply calls for immediate repressions and firing squads, and you, Vent, are a step away from facing charges yourself. I want to speak to the strikers. Abelard's mouth twists, but he restrains himself and says nothing. Right you are, Lord Captain. Allow me to wish you good luck. Hope gleams in Lieutenant Vent's eyes. All right, everybody, get the grenades ready. We're going in, apparently. Okay. Greetings, your graces. Wow. A dozen pairs of eyes stare apprehensively at you. The people before you are typical inhabitants of the lower decks. You take in their simple clothing, crude weapons, and faces that display varying levels of mutation, from the barely discernible to the strange to the outright grotesque. So what's interesting is that Cassia is a mutant, but of a different order. And then these people, I think, have been mutated by their proximity to the warp drive or the machines or radiation or whatever it is. The enforcers have tormented us long enough. Whoa, look at this slickster. Rivet. A whisper passes through the crowd, and you detect a mixture of fear. This is like the cult leader. Astonishment and joy in their reactions. Finally, 3 people break away from the crowd. An elderly woman and 2 men. They must be the leaders. They bow clumsily before you. Lord Captain, you have come down to us. Tell me, what is troubling you? Why are you striking? Striking? That's news to us, your lordship, says a tall, thin man in worker's garb. All we're doing is asking questions, saying what we think, and refusing to work until we get better conditions. I wouldn't call it a strike, per se. Shut up, Rivet, says, this is old Nan, snaps the old woman, who turns her hostile dark eyes on you. Here's the deal, your lordship. Your damned enforcers are all over us down here. They say they're looking for cultists. One wrong word and they're reaching for their batons. If they want to punish someone, they turn off the heating to whole bays for a week at a time so we get sick and freeze. In my clan, 2 little ones died from inflammation in their lungs, all because of those enforcers. The old woman spits on the floor and rubs at the spittle with the toe of her worn-out shoe. Argenta does not interrupt the workers, but you see the sadness well in her eyes when the children's deaths are mentioned. She quietly whispers a requiem prayer and makes a sign over herself. It's all true. Vent is the only enforcer officer who stood up for us. It's clear as day who had a mother from the lower decks and who grew up amidships and had no fellow feeling toward us. The grim man with a scarred face throws up his arms. Your lordship, we're no villains here. We're honest workers, your servants. We've plotted no disorder. We went on strike openly. And now we've got guns pointed at us. All we're doing is asking to be allowed to work in peace without being harassed. That's right. I know. They have no candles and skulls at all. There's no carpets. There's no fine trays of treats. The persecution started apropos of nothing, you say. I was told that somebody had an amulet. A cultist amulet? What's that? The gewgaw they found on the dead drunkard? If it was something evil or forbidden, we sure didn't know. The enforcers just said they were looking for heretics among us, and anyone obstructing their investigation will be punished. But how could there be heretics here? We know our own people. There have been no new faces around. Okay. Hey, Fox, good evening. Good to see you. The game is really fantastic. It's got great writing, it's good music, good graphics, fantastic lore and story. It's super, super involved as a CRPG. So here's the deal. You just produce 5 corpses of cultists and we call it even. So just round up some bodies just so we can kind of, have something to drag back to say that we got out the insurrection that killed the previous rogue trader and we move on. Definitely not. And if there were, we'd be the first to report them. And as for this amulet, or whatever it is, they took it off a dead body. There are no cultists still breathing in our sector, that's for sure. But when that fight broke out, some enterprising folks looted the bodies. The boots they came back with, nobody's ever tread these decks in boots so fine, I could tell you that. Seems to me these cultists have better commanders than us. Oh yeah, those boots were really fine, and there was no harm in taking them, right? As for the amulet, it must have been pocketed by someone who didn't know any better. We don't need any amulets around here, we all worship the Emperor. And when we're not working, we bow down before the machine spirits from the large and small transformers and the servo motor, the same way my grandfather was taught 100 years ago by a tech priest who came calling. Believe us, your lordship, we are people of faith. Naive children, weren't you taught from an early age about the dangers of the arch-enemy's creations? Weren't you warned that any unfamiliar object could be one of them? We were told, Holy Sister, but it was long ago. The last time we saw a confessor in our sector, it was just after I'd had my third little one. That is regrettable, but you cannot lay the burden of leading a righteous life on the shoulders of the Holy Fathers. Who will you blame when beasts crawl out of those amulets you stole from the heretics? The Holy Father, who was not there, or the scavenger who brought evil down on himself and his neighbors? Yeah, Argenta. You tell him. That's awesome, Fox. Hey, Cynical, good evening. Abelard, you got anything to add? I authorize the use of all necessary measures to locate Chaos worshippers hiding in this sector. The specific steps taken by the officers were not reported to me. Kill a bunch of people and spread some amulets around. Abelard frowns, clearly disgruntled at having to explain himself in the workers' presence. Nevertheless, I am certain that their actions were justified. Cultists are no drunken stevedores or Steve Doors. They are the enemy and a threat to the ship. Neutralizing them demands decisive action. Sourback, was it really necessary to torture these people with cold? The rabble understands only one language, Lord Captain, that of violence. As per regulation, should the laborers persist in their unwillingness to cooperate, the next step is limiting air supply and cutting off water, which is almost certain to restore order. The peasants can grumble all they want, but in the end, they're the source of their own misery. All they have to do is bow their heads and fall in line, and the need for punitive measures will disappear. Yikes. I see, Mr. Kiwi. Okay, thank you, Ronnie. Elskirva, that's awesome. It's a new one to me. I don't spend time on ships, near ships, or unloading ships, but I'm going to use that one. Hey, congratulations, Episcocat. Oh, I bet you all know many more words than I do. I am open to learning, and I learn new things every day. We were attacked on the way here. What charges do you want? Would you look at this? The exalted Lord Captain himself is asking us bilge-rats what we want. Well, here's what. We want you to rein in your damned enforcers, to quit turning off the heat, and to stop battering everything that moves. No, that's not it. We want the enforcers gone from here, and we want to be armed. Give us arms, and we'll govern ourselves. We'll defend ourselves if these cultists do show their faces. I've been the leader of my clan for 20 years now. Getting rid of these club-wielding thubs can only improve things around here. You've gone too far, old man. They'll never let the maggots on the lower decks live without the enforcers breathing down their necks. They probably even insist on enforcers on the upper decks, too. As for weapons, what do we need them for? Before the first day's out, we'll have someone shooting their neighbor out of stupidity or drunkenness. We don't need that. If the enforcers stop hassling us, that'll be enough. In return, we find the scavengers who robbed the cultist bodies, and we'll talk to them, one lower decker to another. If there are any more of those damned amulets about, we'll hand them over to the enforcers ourselves. Hey, Vespado, good evening. Good to see you. Hey, Dragon, good evening. That's awesome, Sotails. Rolanda, good evening. No arms allowed. You speak for yourselves and your clan, and I'll speak for me and mine. I don't want empty gestures. I want real change. Uh-oh. I'm starting to sweat over here. My only plan for negotiations was to grant empty gestures. Oh, God. They'll promise us the world now, but as soon as the Anointed One turns his back, these brutes will be on us even harder than before, all because we dared to speak out. The tall worker's eyes dart between two arguing leaders. Every few seconds, he opens his mouth as if planning to agree, but each time he falls silent, simply making a few vague noises of approval. Okay. So, spreading coercion. Spreading anarchy on the ship is the first step toward embracing chaos. Putting weapons into untrained hands would be even worse. What's more, the enforcers are needed to maintain oversight and order. Without those, withdraw those demands, and we will consider the rest. Right. I mean, we can't give you weapons, and we can't take away the police. Master-at-Arms, where do you stand? Give the rabble a grox, they'll take an aggro world, Lord Captain. They only understand brute force and will interpret any concession as a sign of weakness. Giving them weapons and recalling the enforcers would be folly. It would only be a matter of time before we had a full-scale mutiny on our hands. Hey, Schwinn. Thank you so much for the gift membership, my friend. I appreciate that. Johnny, good evening. Good to see you. Thoughts, Abelard? The story about going scavenging for boots and accidentally picking up a heretical amulet doesn't convince me. These people were moments away from rebelling and possibly becoming minions of the archenemy. We must not give them what they want. Even if they did acquire something innocently, purely out of their own stupidity, that does not mean they are not tainted with corruption. Alright, I'm going to do coercion. Hey, Sid, good evening. Good to see you. Coercion test succeeded. The tall worker they call Rivet shrugs and casts a sidelong look at the old woman. Old man, listen. The Lord Captain himself has come down to us and is offering concessions, and I don't know a single person in the whole of Depot 4 who's ever stood next to the rogue trader, let alone talk to them. Back down. Now's no time for you to be a stubborn old crone. Listen to us, old man. The three clans of Depot 4 ought to act as one. We've made our minds up. It's your turn to decide. Don't ask them to disband the enforcers or give us weapons. We don't need that. The old woman hisses in dissatisfaction. You two are ganging up on me. Is that it? So brave you are against an old woman, but I'll shut up. I will indeed. I won't go against two clan leaders on my own. If you want to make peace with the enforcers, make your peace. That's great. Just fantastic. Lord Captain, we all agreed. Then it's decided. The persecution will stop, and I will expect you to assist in locating any remaining amulets or weapons left by the cultists. If not, I push the button in my cabin that says cut off the air supply to Depot 4. Do you understand? It does, Nate Gaming. It's cool. Your lordship, thank you. You have not abandoned us lower deckers. You came here yourself and settled everything. I'll tell my grandchildren about this. So we removed fuel and provisions, I guess. Of course, your lordship. We'll root out any nasty business faster than the enforcers, and we'll leave no stone unturned. Do we have stones in here? All right. Well, that worked.
I'll shall guide your vessel and lead you on your way.
Okay. So, we did that. The Seneschal wants to talk. And so does this person. Let's see. Abelard, you want to chat?
We are the spearhead of the Imperium.
Oh, no, it's just switched to Abelard.
Between the stars.
Let's just see if there's anything else we could steal before we leave. You never know. They put, like, hidden stuff all over the place. It doesn't look like it. I tried. But sometimes you find... Oh, no, there they are. Goods. Here we go. Multi-key. Reinforced thermoplas. And hyper dynamo capacitors. That's great. Take it all. The rogue trader has taken everything.
It is my destiny to traverse the unknown.
That's right. Traverse it. Hey, Dodgy, good evening. Good to see you. You know what's hilarious is, like, if you think about it in terms of the romancing options here, just if we're talking party members only, there isn't, like, all three of these women
How can
are
one find the right way without his light?
troubled. You know, Sultals, I guess that's right. I'm just relocating. This would be better stored in the warehouse. Abelard, stopping unexpectedly. Abelard imperiously dismisses the unit to stand at a distance and addresses your other companion, saying, I have an urgent matter to discuss with the Lord Captain. Please give us a moment. Abelard looks at you, and his last vestiges of restraint vanish. Well, are you pleased with your investigation, Lord Captain? You kowtowed to the disloyal rabble. You believed their lies and showed them leniency. Next time the ship is attacked by cultists, that rabble will welcome them in with open arms and allow them to wreak whatever havoc they like because they see you as a weak leader. Is that how you see your future at the helm of the Von Valencius Protectorate? Hey, Curry, good evening. Thank you, Fox. Sorry you have to go back to work, my friend. Take care. Hey, Dodgy, thank you so much for the gifted memberships, my friend. I appreciate that. So generous. Smile. Zeus. Markley. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Dodgy. So, I have to say, like, what's crazy is Abelard feels like if I show weakness as a leader, then this is what lets in the cultists or whatever. But what's so bonkers about that is that the previous rogue trader was like an absolute badass. I don't see her as ever showing weakness, and Abelard held the same position and was in charge of this. So he didn't show weakness, she didn't show weakness, and yet she was assassinated by cultists. So this idea that these policies exterminate cultists, it don't work, dude. Yeah, Rolana, I agree. Hermie, it's a good point. Let's talk about your role instead. You allowed this revolt to happen. Your actions practically guaranteed it would. I would have handled the situation myself had you not decided to intervene, Abelard says irascibly. Remember, Lord Captain Theodora, do you think she ever set one slippered foot on the lower decks? No, she did not. Such matters were left to myself and the junior officers, while she dedicated herself to her grand designs for the Protectorate, as any true strategist and rogue trader ought. Maybe if Theodora had spent more time on trifling matters, she wouldn't have wound up dead. There is a new Lord Captain aboard, and I will not repeat her mistake. Yeah. Abelard looks at you, stunned, then exhales loudly, then he nods curtly. I commend your decisiveness, but I'm uncomfortable with introducing new protocols in the midst of a crisis. And I lost my temper, Lord Captain. I believe I ought to explain myself. The prosperity of the Von Valencius Protectorate is not just an empty phrase to me. I left the Imperial Navy for the chance to see it flourish. It was the most momentous decision of my life. I did it because I saw in Lord Captain Theodora's deeds the sign of true greatness. Rogue traders do not simply forge new routes and capture worlds. They create order out of anarchy. That creative impulse was entirely lacking during my time in the military. I like how, just brutal dictatorship is like considered a creative impulse. So I left behind everything I had known, everything my family had known. I come from a long line of officers, and I embarked upon this incredibly reckless venture. Lord Captain Theodora entrusted me with all the concerns she had no time for. She would go off on her flagship for long periods, to distant frontiers on scouting voyages, and the advancement of the entire Protectorate rested on my shoulders. And then suddenly everything that had been built over the years had began to quake, rattling like a flimsy hanger on a seismically active world. Yeah, so Tails, I think he did. One of the senior officers betrayed us all. The rogue trader was killed, and who knows what is happening on the planets. I tell you this honestly, without fear of appearing weak. All this has come as a grievous blow to me. I am not panicking or grieving because I cannot allow myself to panic or grieve. I am duty-bound to aid the new rogue trader, to aid you, to find your footing as quickly as possible. And to do that, I must insulate you from problems that in the past have been dealt with by tried and tested procedures set out in the ship's regulations. Procedures that were established long ago and have functioned smoothly for decades cannot suddenly be deemed excess to requirements. Wow, I've got a lot of options here. The prosperity of the Von Valencius Protectorate is just as important to me. You are the only person who has comprehensive knowledge of how things are run on this ship. I think in the future I will follow your recommendations. Hey, Guts, what's up, my friend? Thanks for subscribing. I understand, but you need to learn how to respect me as your Lord Captain and rogue trader. Accept it and start living in a new world, a world where Theodora is gone and where you and I have new decisions to make. Abelard solemnly inclines his head. Yes, Lord Captain. After a moment silent, he adds, looking at you with interest, your resolve is admirable and demonstrates strong leadership. I shall remember this moment, should my old habits ever begin to creep back in. Hey, it's Cedric. Good evening. Good to see you. You know what's funny is, like, we just tell him right here, and Abelard, assign yourself 5 lashes. That'll be all. And now, please let us leave the lower decks. If the rogue trader desires to stretch his legs, there are far more suitable places. All right, we did it. We dealt with it. My God, man. Well, that was rough. All right, let's see if we can make it to this planet. It's tough. We're getting close. Yeah, Ronnie, that's right. As the ship makes its way through the star system, a strange fatigue falls over you. Your eyelids grow heavy, and the quill you've been using to draw up yet another order falls from your hand. So there's so many, first of all, my desk is enormous. Like, the idea of having a desk of this size, where you could, have 15 people eat dinner around it, is pretty impressive. The other thing is, maybe Rolana, right? I guess it's nice to have windows, but I'm not sure if I was in a spaceship if I would be comfortable with a window that large. I guess you get used to it. Yeah, so Tails, it's unreal. You raise your head with a start. Someone else is here, in your study. You stand up and stare at the dozens upon dozens of corpses surrounding you. Among their number, you recognize the disfigured and bloodied faces of those who died on the ship's bridge and those you met in your previous life. How is this possible? Where are the enforcers posted to stand guard? It matters not. You are alone against a horde of heretics risen from the darkness to take your life. Uh-oh. As of its own accord, the shard lying on the edge of the desk, the sole remnant of Conrad Voigtvir's weapon, slips into your hand. The metal is searing cold. The dead sway from side to side, closing in around you in a nightmarishly slow advance. Step back, or else. Stop. I did not wish for any of you to die. The dead remain deaf to your words, creeping ever closer with the inevitability of death itself. You belatedly realize that your trembling hand has found the shard when its razor-sharp edge cuts into your palm. Ouch! That didn't feel good. An unbearably bright light floods everything around, and you find yourself surrounded by groveling minions, their bodies shivering in your mere presence. Your hands no longer hold a pitiful shard, but a majestic and intricate weapon, a skillfully crafted sword with strange, unnerving proportions, a curved design, an unusual hilt adorned with the image of a closed eye. The eye opens wide, revealing a gaze so ancient and dark that it steals your breath away. You have felt this gaze before, there, on the bridge, and the voice that appears in your mind only confirms your guess. The tapestry is woven, the path is chosen. Accept your fate, champion. Yes, master, I am the sword's master, not its servant. Remember that. Throw the demon blade away. Never. Yes, I believe so, Hermie. I do not accept the fate. This is the evil thing that they're trying to summon. Your body refuses to obey your mind. The handle feels as it It has become one with your hands, and the gaze of the demonic eye sets your very soul ablaze. Resisting your fate is futile. You scream as if you feel your soul burn away to ash. You awaken from the vision kneeling next to your desk, clothes drenched in sweat and with a sour taste on your tongue. Your head is ringing, and you struggle to recall those faces and the image of the sword in your hands. Only the deep cut on your palm and the bloodied shard lying on the floor remind you of what just transpired. You would rather die than touch that thing again, so you reach a shaking hand for your Vox and call for a servitor. Now you just have to wait for the mindless automaton to arrive, pick up the cursed artifact, and head for the nearest airlock to be claimed by the void. All right, so I threw it away. I guess I did. I threw it out into space. The light glinting off the polished skull of some unknown Xenos makes it seem like the bony face is mocking you. All right, boy. Well, that went well. I mean, my goodness. Here's my sweet bathroom. All right. Yep, there's my enormous bed. Let's get back to the bridge, I guess. You know what's wild, too? Like, you think about this game and what's going on here. I basically got Cassia and then came back to the ship. And since we've booted up, we got back from whatever station, Uriel 5 or whatever that place was, and we brought Cassia with us as our navigator. And then we had to do the ritual for her. Then we had the romance sequence with her. Then we had to deal with an uprising from Depot 4. And then now I am dealing with this demon blade. And at the beginning of the stream, I clicked to go travel to this other planet. And, nearly 2 hours later, we have not made it there because of all of these different events and the story and the conversations. That's how much, this is a CRPG of the greatest order in terms of lore and reading. It's not perhaps as much as Planescape Torment or something like that, but it's a lot. It's substantial. Okay. So we're back here at the Coronis Expanse map. Let's see. Did we get close to this thing? We did it. Scan it up. Okay. So we got some experience. And it's got no resources. It does have a starport. It has no extractium. Right, Herbie? You know what's sweet? I like how, it's not unobtainium, but they're like, What should we call this resource that we need to extract all the time? I mean, I'm just gonna... What about extractium? What do you think? It's so simple, but it's genius. Alright, we're going in. Wow. See, and then it just has like a cool little cutscene like that where like my shuttle is just flying over and they're just in it. There's a battle going on. The starport greets you with the din of ordnance and the smell of explosive tickles your nostrils. It is difficult to tell through the smoke who is firing at whom. Sergeant Mulgar, halt, weapons on the ground, or I'm firing. A man in a torn and dirty uniform hobbles toward you from behind the chunks of rockreet and crumpled plasteel. His cracked helmet is adorned with a crooked label that reads, Sergeant Mulgar. All right, so our skies are in lockdown, the rebels are shooting down anything that flies, and you lot just happened to land in our rear without a scratch to show for it, and on a shuttle like that? Where did you get it? Stolen from the palace, isn't it? He is visibly awed by the resplendent gold of your transport. Grab him, lads. We've got ourselves a rebel landing force. Abelard turns purple. By the holy throne, what is this mess? Idira glances around. They're in a rough spot, old man. Go easy on them. I am Rogue Trader Von Valencius. Give me a status report this instant. With a mixture of awe and terror, he snaps to attention, raises his freshly cut chin like an exemplary soldier and barks, My mistake, sir, at once. The starport is under the control of the governor's wardens. Perimeter commander is Sergeant... Oh, God. A frag grenade explosion cuts off the rest of the sergeant's words. Shrapnel flies everywhere with a piercing screech. One of the soldiers falls to the ground, clutching the remains of his forearm that is now adorned with crimson tatters. Blood is pouring out of the stump, and the soldier's agony is short-lived. The sergeant curses and hastily says an army prayer for the dead. With a rasping cough, the sergeant turns back to you. Pardon me, sir. Sergeant Lassie Malgar reporting. My unit is holding the starport on the governor's orders. How may I serve? Some dirty dog nearly shot down my shuttle. That's sweet. That's right, Dodgy. We'll just leave that right there, and, what's going on here? Unrest, sir. Oh my God, I was just dealing... Is it Depot 4 again? Armed rebellions in both the capital and the provinces. First, the lower levels sparked, then it went up to spires. They hit the Vox hubs, the arsenals, the mag train stations. Then Felix tore off his mask, precisely because he knew about the trouble on Rykad Minoris. He knew that none of our allies would come to our aid. Cassia lets out a sorrowful sigh. You may continue your report, peasant. Whoa. Cassia, let's, Oh, Cassia. My unit was here when it all went to the Groxes. The tech priest linked to the satellites reported sightings of strange void ships in the system. They were orbiting the star until one of them set course for landing on Rykad Majoris. The governor took precautionary measures and ordered to increase security at the key facilities. Everyone knows that whenever something's not right, you better double the warden details. The alarm was raised, and we were sent to secure the starport. It's the only reason we were able to hold it. Good one, Sid. So we've got a new rumor. Unidentified void ship. They're crushing us. You were late. Oh, right. We were a little bit late. But we got some loot. We pillaged. It was good. the scumbags. It's been a whole turn since the last reinforcements came in. We're running low on ammo. Every other fighter is wounded. I don't know how bad it is in the streets, but they'll drive us out of here in any minute. Pat him on the shoulder. You're doing fine work, Malgar. And so are your troops. It's people like you that hold the Imperium together. Except for the guy who's couldn't hold his arm onto his body a couple of moments ago. But other than that, Imperium tip-top shape. I live to serve. The sergeant's grim voice rings with a martyr's pride. Well, don't worry about it. You won't be doing that living part very much longer. I'm going to need you for Operation Vanguard. Are you familiar with this formation? All right. Do you happen to know if a member of the Inquisition has come here? At the word Inquisition, the sergeant's face fills with awe. I don't know, sir. There definitely haven't been any visitors like that on my watch. You might have to inquire at the headquarters, your lordship, sir. Some dirty dog nearly shot down my shuttle. Affirmative, your lordship. It's all those damned rebels. Those maggots somehow got their hands on an anti-aircraft battery, and it's causing our shuttle no end of trouble. That thing really packs a punch. You're lucky they missed you. I've seen them fry 2 shuttles carrying reinforcements. Not a soul survived. I'm going to see the governor. If I may report, sir, as long as the rebels keep shooting their damned anti-aircraft battery, there is absolutely no way to shuttle you to the governor. It'd have to be on foot, and the streets are dangerous. I have no one to send with you as an escort. I have assigned all available troops to accompany the esteemed tech priest to the governor. I will voxcast orders to them to wait for you, and I'll inform headquarters. They better send out a convoy to meet you halfway. Meanwhile, we will follow the governor's orders and hold the line here. Rolana, that's a good question, right? Like, can my ship just lay down fire? Adira frowns as her gaze grows distant, as if she was looking through the sergeant. You're a good soldier, but you've got a lot of blood on your hands, both yours and others. You know, the same hand that salutes might falter in darkness. Rank and epaulets won't save you from the bitterness. Pardon me, my lady, but I can't get my head round these fancy words you're saying. I've seen plenty of blood, but trust me, I'll fight till my last drop. The sergeant shakes his head in disappointment. If only Sergeant Davian of Tertium were here, he may have completely lost his marbles. But if I'd let him accompany you, you could have walked all the way to the governor's palace without any harm befalling you. He sounds good. Where's Crazy Davian? I'm just going to have you know that 90% of my current party composition is just totally insane. So Lost Marbles is actually probably doing better than half of our group. Davian of Tertium, who's that? One of ours, a veteran. No idea how he wound up here. The man's from Atoma Prime, the other end of the galaxy. Silent chap, crazy eyes, but you should see him slay enemies of humanity. There's none like him. The sergeant cast a glance somewhere past the starport. When it started, he went missing out in the streets somewhere. Worse news for the rebels, though. He's an absolute beast in close quarters combat. Oh, he knows CQC. Great. I'm wondering about that, Hermie. What tech priest? A very important person from the Adeptus Mechanicus arrived on the last shuttle before they locked down the sky. He kept on asking whether anyone by the name of Armorant or Armornat or something like that had recently arrived. Barely answered any of our questions, though. Said he was under no obligation to tell us anything. He demanded to talk to the governor personally, so I had to send a quarter of my troops with him to keep trouble at bay. Is the path ahead dangerous? What awaits me? The sergeant sighs heavily. All of our roadblocks are gone. The whole place is in the rebels' hands. The city is almost lost. Boy, they really keep harping on the whole I arrived late business. Look, I had an uprising to deal with. I had an albino mutant navigator to woo. Do you understand my priorities here? I was talking to old Nan. All right? No help will come. We're surrounded by rebels. Watch your step. The streets are chock full of mines. Logic test succeeded. His remark about mines lodges itself in your memory. More than anything, you will need to watch the ground and not your surroundings. You'd rather risk a shot from a rebel or a jittery soldier than experience a few handfuls of lethal frag shrapnel resting on top of some 300 grams of explosive Physaline. Hey, Farscape, good evening. Good to see you. A good fighter would have long since reclaimed the starport. Move out, you cowardly knave. You're a good soldier, Malgar. Probably in the lower 5% of all that I've met. I'll see that your heroism is noted. The sergeant blushes. I live to serve. There you go again. You're so optimistic. Don't worry about it. Another explosion interrupts the sergeant's words. With a sigh of relief, he turns to his soldiers and spits out a booming series of commands. All right. On your travels, you will hear many rumors. Those of them that are deserving of the rogue trader's attention are logged in a separate section of the journal. Sometimes rumors are just that. Other times there is truth to them, and in some cases there may even be more. To verify a rumor, travel to the place indicated in the rumor's description. When traversing the Coronis Expanse, as the rogue trader, you are bound to hear rumors regarding your own deeds and exploits, some of which reflect the reaction of the Expanse's denizens to the choices that you have made. Oh God, they've been so good, too. Indeed, Dodgy, and with you. Hey, CK Ghost, good evening. Thank you for subscribing. All right, so let's look at the map. I'm here. We got to go through the streets. God knows what's going to happen. Explosions and mines everywhere. We got to save it.
May his light harden our hearts. New trials await us in this place.
All right, we got a bunch of stuff.
It's going from bad to worse. I expected a typical dull reception.
Oh, Cassia's abilities. Whoa.
Take you down.
Heck yeah. Cassia is an officer and your ship's navigator. We probably shouldn't be bringing her. Like, it's pretty dangerous. I guess the rogue trader is going. She strikes foes with energies of the warp and supports the party by making her allies stronger. Voice of Command is an officer ability that increases an ally's characteristics for 1 round and also allows the officer to use their other officer archetype abilities on that ally from any distance. The higher the officer's fellowship bonus is, the more target characteristics are increased. Oh, okay, I should boost that then. An officer can use Voice of Command again on the same ally only after 2 rounds have passed. Whoa, look at that. It's kind of like Bard Song. Alright, so get into position, indeed. Alright, so Abelard, you go up. They're way over there. Abelard, you can go here. And then Argenta is here. Rogue Trader here. Where are you at? Over here is pretty good. And then Adira. This is fine. No, actually where you were is fine. Let's go.
Time to slaughter someone.
Oh my god.
Pain and duty go hand in hand.
Wow. They are really coming for us.
Here we go.
Follow my lead.
That was messy. Okay, so Psycho number 1. What can you do? Well, first of all, you can do your expose weakness. So this removes all exploits. So she needs to put on some exploits first, like analyze enemies, I guess. Analyze them. Let's see. Who's this idiot?
Anything else?
Well, can you yell at anybody? Yes, yell at this guy. Wait, does this warp you? So this is a minor psychic power, so this does increase the veil. What about this one? This one is... Oh, this is major. Okay. So that really pumps up the veil. Then... Why don't you just yell at this person? Oh my god. Dead. Well. Yeah, Sid, the graphics are great, aren't they? She, took care of that one. We don't have to worry about that anymore. Okay. Good job. Would you like to... forewarning on Abelard, please?
On it.
Enjoy that while you still draw breath.
That...
Die, die, die! Let's make it
This
quick.
game never gets, like...
Let's get to it.
Usually,
Let's get to it.
the warp doesn't affect you so early in the battle.
Hold on.
Pain cleanses the body.
Hey, Peter, good evening. So, let me see, where's the, Yeah, so... This is the veil degradation. And normally you have to build up to this, like, higher level for there to be a negative effect. But she must have had some kind of, like, critical fumble, and everybody back here has been knocked down. Now let me see if I can open... I'd love to read the combat log regarding what just happened. Inventory... Yeah, so Tails, no doubt. I know that it's not without risk. I just thought usually I can use a few in battle before that happens. Alright, so... Can you do... They're trying to hide back here. Go ahead and do concentrated fire. And then just do this. Right, Hermie? Oh, thank you, thank you. I was trying to figure out where it was. So, it says right here, Cassia misses her turn. So... Warp Tremor. Pales of the Warp. Alright, well, not good. Okay. Go ahead and We don't have a great chance, but... Try
As
this.
the Emperor commands, I act. Eradicated.
She did kill somebody, at least. And that was good.
I'll do it.
Momentum me. Furious recital. She's done. Her action points are done.
Here we go.
Hey, Ghost, good evening. Yeah, this game is so fun. Oh, man, Ronnie. Alright, so what should I do? Abelard, I need you to just charge in and kill somebody. This guy right here is your sworn enemy.
At your beck and call.
Charge and hit this guy.
Someone else can do this.
Oh, okay, then don't charge. Just walk up and hit this guy. Give him... Oh, cleave, right, yeah. Do that. But... That isn't... Okay, I think we had a misunderstanding there. I thought he would like walk up and do it. It didn't work out that way. Okay. So it was the right idea. You just screwed it up.
Victory is imminent.
Yeah, I mean, usually he's like, I can't charge because he's too close. And I'm like, okay, cleave him. He's like, okay, he's too far away. All right, Goldilocks, what do you want to do here? You know, I was playing Heroes of Might and Magic, and then I was playing King's Bounty as well. And like in most tactical strategy games, when you select an ability and then click on an enemy, it'll basically tell you like, yes, you can move and do that. And then when you click on them, you will move and do it. You won't like just do the ability in place on nobody, generally. But I just have to be on my toes. Brace for impact. We might get shot. You guys are doing badly. All right, enter.
Let's get to it.
Let's make it quick. My faith strengthens me.
Whoa! Look at what they just did.
Let's get to it. Reduced to dust. Let's get to it.
So, I think this guy moved inside his threatened area, so he got like an attack of opportunity when that guy dodged.
Here we go.
They need your edict.
Jesus, she's almost dead. All right. This cover doesn't seem to be doing that much. Okay, so... Let's see here. All right, I'm going to voice of command. Who goes after you? Rogue Trader? All right. How about the Rogue Trader?
If you insist, Lord Captain.
She just hit him on the head with the staff. All right, she did it. Oh, interesting. So we immediately get the action points.
All too easy.
That was a good shot.
Strike. My tactics are flawless. Opposing me was your biggest mistake.
So that was run and gun, and it gave us the momentum boost. And now we have enough momentum to do firearm mastery. The soldier gains the ability to make a number of extra attacks equal to their weapon's rate of fire, using the weapon's attack that normally cost at least AP. They do not spend AP. Until the end of their turn, their first attack against each enemy will automatically crit. I mean, that sounds pretty good. I don't know if I want to do it right now, though. I have no AP left. So I'm ending the turn, but it's not really his turn. It should go back to her turn, right? It does. And then she can... she's got, like, this just melee weapon, which that's not really good. Lidless stare is unreal. An officer grants an ally an extra turn with full AP and MP. During the extra turn, there is no attack limit. Good lord. That's pretty good. Here, give Argenta that.
In the name of House Orselio, I shall prevail.
So I used a lot of momentum to make this happen. Argenta, do you have any healing items? Yeah, Peter, she really is. I do not see that, but I do see a grenade. Looks like there's about 400 bad guys right back here. It's a lot. Can you kill this guy? Probably.
Faith without deep strike is a prayer.
Get him out of here.
Doubt is for the weak.
Where can you move? You can move here, I guess. Doesn't really help her, though. She's in bad shape.
I refuse.
I didn't know if I could, like, cancel that. I guess we could move up here. Hey, Schwinn, thank you again for gifting a membership, my friend. I really appreciate that. Yor, good evening. Good to see you. All right, we're going to move over here, and we're going to just fire at this guy and try to kill him.
The enemies of the Emperor will be undone.
That's a good shot that you just did right there, lady. She's out of time, but I like how she can still go. Like, she just has so much that she can do. I don't think she can actually blast anybody with her lidless stare. What's the range on this? Now, we need to get... She needs to be closer, which is disturbing, but yeah, you can move down here.
battlefields are always drowned in scarlet.
Yes. That's correct. Drowned in scarlet. Can you hit them? Nah, they're too far away. Okay, no problem. All right, now Argenta has her other turn. And if you try to shoot this guy, what's your chance? Oh, very good.
I'll do it. None can escape the Emperor's judgment.
She just killed that guy. Oh, that's right. You can't... I always forget that. You can't fire and then... move, I think, is how that works.
As the Emperor commands, I act.
She's reveling. Now she can run and gun. I think I can actually concentrated fire. And then run and gun with her to, like, maybe over here. And then she should be able to shoot one of these guys. But to be honest, I think I'm actually going to run her back. She needs to heal up. She's in really bad shape.
I will bathe this battlefield in righteous fury.
Do it. Bathe it in fury. You're good.
Scared yet?
Brace yourself, Abelard.
He's talking to himself. He can brace himself, actually. Alright. How far can you go with your charge? Can't hit that guy, okay. If I move you all the way... Can you get up in there? This might be... How far can you throw this grenade? Not quite. If I instead move you up here... Can you give him a grenade? Yeah, it looks like it. Sid, we are on a planet. We landed on a starport, I believe.
I will do my duty. The more the better.
This man just killed 3 people with a grenade. So these rebels are not very good at the fighting. We don't have enough action points left to shoot somebody, I don't think.
That's not the Seneschal's job.
Right, that's apparently not the Seneschal's job. Alright. He's going to endure. That's a good question, Observer. I can't remember.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Rolana, no one here is sane. Abelard might be the most sane among us, and he's just like an unbelievable zealot.
Nothing of value has been lost.
Alright, I ignited that guy with my Psyker ability. Words of the Emperor.
Nothing I can't do.
It's inspiring. You should be proud.
Show me what you've got.
Oh, they killed the random guy. That was a heck of a shot. All the way there, huh? Man. Oh, good for you. Thank you, Sotails. That makes sense. She can't reach anybody.
Let's make it quick.
Oh, I didn't see that guy over there. Oh my god. Just took her down in one shot. Bah. I didn't notice that guy over there. I don't know how he shot through that. Well, that's upsetting.
God Emperor, move through me. Be the fire in my heart. As the Emperor commands, I act. Doubt is for the weak. As the Emperor commands, I act.
A tactically sound approach. I'm not interested.
Man, this guy's tough to get to. You are my sworn enemy.
Victory is imminent. It will be done.
Well, we hit him once.
I will do my duty.
That's cool, Sid. Alright, Rogue Trader's got to get some revenge. This guy is like way stronger than everybody else. This must be their leader.
Suits my purposes.
You're on fire.
Let's get to it.
I've suffered worse.
Wow. That was really good shooting. Almost killed Abelard.
Will do. Was that you? Or...
We're starting to see some tentacles, but not bad.
Will do.
Let's get to it.
Man, this guy has still survived. He's on fire.
You won't fell me.
Jeez. This guy's unreal.
Faith without deeds is worthless.
All right, now he's gone.
This is unacceptable.
Yeah, Dodgy. He really was.
Indeed. I took care of this one.
Well, we got him. So she has the debuff called Crippled Leg. So this must be what she got for getting knocked out. Wow, Sid. Unreal. Loot them up. Send it all back to the ship. Send the weapons to Depot 4. Let them get nuts. Sick. Yeah, so Tails, I have to definitely get used to the combat, but to be honest, it was fine. Like, it was really going well. I just didn't see that one particular guy over there, who came around the flank like that. But otherwise, we would have been fine. Yep, old Nan is going to get loaded up. Well, we did great. Like, we only had this many people dead. Nice, Schwinn. Yeah, Disco Elysium is so good. Well, everyone, it is my bedtime, and I want to say thank you so much for coming out and playing some Rogue Trader. Tonight's stream was 1 hour later. Tomorrow we'll be back to regular time. I hope you all have a fantastic evening or day, and I will see you tomorrow, hopefully. I think we're playing... think it's Bard's Tale tomorrow? Kizron, Hermie, Observer, Cynical, Schwinn, Sotails, Fading, Dodgy, Aggro, CK, Guts, Schwinn, Peter, Dior, Rolana, Chains, Observer, Hermie, RX, Grim, Marcus, Michael, Lestrife, good evening, etc., Curry, Zeus, Artemis, Flux, Markley, Fox, Nate Gaming, Johnny, Nico, Episcocat, Dragon, El Skirvo, Vanilla, Farscape, everyone out there, Sid, take care. Have a great one.